Is it time?
Game time. All my dogs in the house go, whoa, 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 whoa.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Welcome back to the Other League podcast. It is your fearless leader, Commissioner Toph, here with 2026 League Champion Bauer Power Manager, Scott Sharp.
Happy to be here yet again.
Welcome to it. Tonight, we are doing the Keeper Reveal Show. We've got some fun stuff for you. We're just going to do a couple reminders, a little bit of housekeeping, and then we are going to go down the list, revealing everybody's keepers and the rounds that they will be kept in. Feel free to use this knowledge to your advantage as you mock draft. This information is also going to be in ESPN, so you can see it for yourself if you need to refer back to it. So, first things first, thank you, surprisingly, to everybody who got in their keeper selections to me and their dues. Was not expecting to actually have everything we needed, but I think that's cause for celebration.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
All of our dues are in. It's all paid. Here are the payouts for this year. We're going to keep it the same as last year and the year before. $350 goes to our winner, along with, Scott, you want to show them the trophy, the snack bowl that they are competing for?
Love to do that.
Take a look at that. It's beautiful. All right, so along with those payouts, you're going to get the trophy if you're the champion. Reminder that the first week of playoffs, because of the way ESPN works, the last two teams, teams 9 and 10 going into the playoffs, will face each other in the dreaded toilet bowl. So make sure you don't end up in the toilet bowl, otherwise that is going to be a recipe for disaster, and you could end up like Christopher Glennon, who needs to acquire the Hot Ones Challenge sauces by Wednesday, September 2nd. That is next Wednesday at
That is
6:15.
8 days from now, so get on it.
Yeah, Amazon Prime that shit right now. Get on it. All right, so our draft reminder is Wednesday, September 2nd at 6:15 Mountain Time, 7:15 Central, 8:15 Eastern for all the time zones represented. We're going to open up the Zoom room at 6 our time. So we'll have about 15 minutes to dilly-dally before we get down to business. How's that sound, Scott?
Beautiful. I love a little dilly, and I love a little dally, and I love when I get to dilly dally.
Even better. All right, should we get down to the keepers for this year? Go ahead and we might just we might have a quick podcast here tonight if we get down to business quickly.
Very well could.
Yeah. All right. So the way this is going to work, we're going to go in our draft order, and I'm going to list out everybody's keepers that they have sent to me as their final selections. One caveat. If there is, from this time to about an hour before our draft, I will set that deadline as an hour before our draft. If there is an injury to a player that you are keeping, not like an injury to their quarterback or a change in the depth chart, but if there's a serious injury to a player you are keeping, I will, as a gracious God of this league, allow you to make that change.
There's just times where it's just too much.
Yeah. Sometimes you just get hit with it, you know?
My leg.
You never know. All right. Starting off our keepers. And at the end of this, Scott and I, since we're toward the end of the draft order, we are going to reveal our keepers to each other. So Scott's going to try and guess who I'm keeping, and I'm going to try and guess who he is keeping. So we'll see how good we are at reading the spreadsheet from Wesley. Once again, MVP of this show is always Wesley Fall. What a hero for putting together that spreadsheet for us.
Golf claps.
Golf claps. I need to add that to the soundboard. I don't have it.
Yeah, good golf clap would be good.
Yeah, we'll do that. All right. Alex Orbeck starting us off at the top of the draft order. His third round keeper is going to be Devon Achan. Fourth round keeper, Kyron Williams. So going back to back running back there. Eighth round, Rashi Rice. Ninth round, another running back, Cam Scadaboo. Scott, your thoughts on Alex Orbeck's keepers?
Yeah, to state the obvious, he obviously went running back heavy. So I think that you can probably see how his draft is going to play out. He's got the number 1 overall pick. be shocked if it's anything other than Josh Allen. And I would imagine when it runs back to him, he's probably going to go some version of quarterback, wide receiver again, or wide receiver, running back. It doesn't really matter, obviously, but some good keepers. He's got good running back talent. Cam Scatterboot, obviously a wild card. Who knows what he's going to be capable of or how
I
long
mean,
he'll be able
he might be doing backflips right now as we speak, and we just got to hope that he lands them.
to, yeah, not on his head.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think it's probably we can probably predict what he's going to do in the draft. I'd be shocked if he goes anything other than Josh Allen in the first with the 1-1 overall. But I think Orb's in a pretty good spot all in all.
Alrighty. You want to take us into our number 2 drafter, Chris Glennon?
Would love to do that. So with the number 2 overall pick, Chris Glennon has in his 8th round as a keeper, Chris Olave, and in his 9th round, tight end Tucker Kraft.
My beloved Chris Olave, my first slab I ever bought, Chris Olave here in the Gem Mint 10. Really hope that he performs with Tyler Shuck this year. And then Tucker Kraft was actually a trade acquisition from CJ. He was able to snag that toward the end of the year, helped me out with some quarterback talent that I needed, and then he received Tucker Kraft with a decent amount of keeper value. So good to see that trade actually worked out for him, where it's going to play into his draft strategy.
Of note, Chris Olave might be one of the little asterisks that you put on earlier, as he did leave practice earlier with a hard fall. Not sure what that means, but he might be on the injury watch.
I'm showing a red Q for both Olave and Kraft right now.
Oh, I think Kraft went into the offseason with it, so I think that might be I don't know, a carryover, but I think Olave's is fresh.
Yeah. All right. Chris Glennon going with a wide receiver and a tight end in the 8th and 9th round as his keepers. Brings us to the first of the Dragon brothers, Alex Dragon, going to keep for his final time Puka Nacua in the 5th. You'll love to see a dynasty in this league, and I think Puka Nacua, the $1 pickup, has more than paid dividends for Alex Dragon. Keeping him in the 5th, and he's going to run it back one last time before his eligibility rules in this league time out. And then in the 7th, he's got a quarterback in Drake May, which I know he'll be happy about as a Pats fan.
Yeah, I think he's not only going to be happy with having Drake May as a 7th round keeper as a Pats fan, but also because he's just an elite quarterback. Last year was absolutely a breakout season for Drake May, and who wouldn't want a Drake May in the 7th round for a year 1 keeper? I mean, this guy is going to be a keeper for the next 2 years after this, without a doubt.
Yeah, you'll end up being able to keep him in the 5th next year, and then the year after that would be the 3rd. So yeah, getting the most out of that 3-year eligibility rule.
Yeah, and both of those are no-brainer. Puka was somebody I would love to have Puka as a little spoiler for my
I think
draft.
we all would.
Yeah, a couple of things. Travis Kelce in the 4th. I get not keeping him. That was kind of a little asterisk or a star that I'd put, like, just to see what he would do. He opted not to go with Travis Kelce in the 4th. I get it. I don't think I would have done it either, but I thought that was interesting. And then Daniel Jones as a free agent keeper. Again, not much of a shocker, but I don't know. Quarterback in the 9th round is probably not bad. But
I think we might be at a point in this league where once you've kind of got your team established and you're comfortable with our draft, there are times when you want to keep 4 players and you have tons of value on the roster, depending on how the year played out and how your pickups on the waiver wire went, versus there are years when it really makes sense to only keep 2 and basically just reload for the next year and the year after.
And I think you're actually 100% accurate on that. And I think a lot of our keepers reflect that. I do think that this year's draft is going to be similar to last year's, where last year's was nothing but like wild cards and every pick was like, oh my gosh, what the heck? I think we're going to get a lot of that this year. But I do think that you're starting to see kind of the keeper strategy and the draft strategy evolve a little bit to what it's kind of turned into now.
Yeah. And I mean, some of us are trying to moneyball Brandon Aubrey and the Texas defense as keepers. So, yeah. That's what happened with Toast Tankers, and it led me to a final when I was not expecting to be contending that year. Okay. So,
is that a little hint? A little hint?
It could be a little tease, but I'm not going to tell you. We're going to go to the next Dragon brother, Patrick Dragon. And in his third round slot, going to keep Justin Herbert, the first of several quarterbacks he will be keeping. Sixth round, he's going to keep the Denver Broncos sensation Bo Nix. Eighth round, keeping Baker Mayfield. And 11th round, keeping the Chicago wide receiver Rome Odunze.
I think it's a great strategy. I think it's brilliant. I love it. I would have done the exact same thing, I think, if I were Pat. Three quarterbacks again in this league, three very white quarterbacks, but still nonetheless going to be very talented.
Wasn't expecting that one. That was good.
But yeah, I think he's done a great job here. He's stacked up on the number one trade asset and the number one most valuable position that you could have in the league. And then Rome Odunze, I think that one of his counterparts is injured to begin the first like 2 or 3 weeks, and so you can expect or potentially expect Rome Odunze to have a big entry into the season. So Pat, again, the world's his oyster. I think if I'm Pat, I go number one talent, like whoever the best available position player is, and just stack up on some like deep, awesome talent. So I think Pat's really set up to have a pretty fun draft, especially his draft picks are like not sequenced either. So he can really kind of play the best of available for each draft. So I think Pat's set up to have a really fun draft, I think.
Yeah, and if I remember right, Rome Odunze was actually a trade piece that came with a lot of keeper value when it was traded to him. Right. So good to see that carry all the way through the year. I love when a trade works out for both parties. Get us into Gavin Gilmore's keepers that he's going to stick around with.
So with the next pick, smack dab in the middle, as Gavin was very apt to point out.
Complaining about?
Fourth round, not complaining, just made sure everybody's aware of. With this fourth round pick, Gavin is going to keep Breece Hall. With his seventh round pick, he's going to keep Jared Goff. With his 2 free agent picks, which I believe he still needs to let you know about, he's going to keep Kyle Pitts and Sam Darnold.
Yes, and currently, and Gavin, reach out to me if you want to change this, but currently I have Kyle Pitts in the 8th, Sam Darnold in the 9th. I think if it were me, I would always want to preserve quarterback value over tight end value.
When I was making my spreadsheet, I did the exact same thing. I just went ahead and made that assumption.
Yep. So Gavin, just confirm for me, listening to the podcast, reach out to us, hit us up on our email that we have for this podcast. It is coolguy69420 at theotherleague.com.
Yep.
My thought on Gavin's keepers, Detroit as an offense, I always want a piece of. I think Jared Goff is a good quarterback to keep in the 7th. That's great value. Sam Darnold in the 9th is also solid quarterback value. I think this league really boils down to, are you freeing yourself up to draft skill position players by getting value on quarterbacks the year before they really break out?
Correct. I think there's just so many options that you can go with the dual quarterback system. If you bank in a 15, 16, 17 point per week quarterback, and then you can really load up on like position player talent early in the round. Like it's a great strategy. And actually for once, not to be a jerk here, but like I won it last year with Matt Stafford and JJ McCarthy. So, but if you have talent elsewhere that makes up for it, and you have these like guys that are going to get you 15 to 18 points at the quarterback position, it's a good strategy.
How do you feel about him keeping Breece Hall in the 4th?
I don't know. It was a star for me. It was an asterisk. I think I would have done it, but Breece Hall, his rookie year was awesome, and then I think the past 2 years has been, right. So I don't hate it, but I think I probably would have done it too, just at the 4th round. I think what better talent in the 4th round are you going to get? This
is the one that I had flagged to, is like probably the closest to like maybe not worth the keeper, but maybe try to get him in the draft in the 4th or 5th. The rankings I tend to use have Breece Hall in a Superflex league sitting at pick number 57 total. So that would be mid 5th round. So it's not unheard of to have him in the 4th, but anything New York Jets this year makes me so nervous.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
All right. I'll take us on to the next one. Wesley Fall, only keeping 2 players this year. One of those reload strategies that we've talked about. And the value on one of these picks is top tier. Ninth round, Quinshawn Junkins as his running back from Cleveland. And then the favorite keeper pick that I have so far, Jackson Dart in the 12th.
Yep. Big time keeper value there. We had loosely had a trade very super loose around those two guys, and then he was playing obviously to his target audience with both of those guys being former Ole Miss players. I think it's again you're going to have those guys for this year and the next 2 years. I think for sure. Quinshon Junkins is a superstar. Absolutely. Jackson Dart scares me, to be honest.
Same thing with Scat.
Yeah, same. Yeah, exactly. He's the same. He's like the quarterback version of Scat.
It's the bash bros, the bash your head into things bros.
Lower your head and just run forward. I was a little surprised maybe at David Montgomery in the 4th. And then outside of that, I think he kind of played it the way I would have. Mike Evans I think he's, for once, might actually be on the way out. Mike Evans in the 3rd round's maybe like something you would think about, but
if I remember right, I can't remember if it was Stephon Diggs or Mike Evans, but one of them is like 50 some odd completions away from a really big record that they're going for. So it's a huge part of what they're going to do early in the year before the injuries set in.
I mean, it's probably Mike Evans, right? Like
it's got to be, right? I can't remember the actual stat. Someone correct me if you're listening. But yeah, these older receivers at this point, if they've been in the league this long, and Mike Evans is a great example of this, as long as he's healthy, he will chase whatever record is in front of him. I feel like he's demonstrated that year after year, and it's honestly fun to watch. You can't help but root for him.
So that's a great segue with that name drop. Going next, we have Corey Eller, not with the E, Cory, who is going to keep in his 1st round Jonathan Taylor. 100% agree with that. 5th round, Nico Collins. 8th round, Javonte Williams. And 12th round, Stephon Diggs.
You agree with a Jonathan Taylor 1st round keeper pick in a super flex draft.
And for the 7th pick, yeah, I think he's got talent. It's going to come back to him. He's going to get a quarterback. Maybe if he had another quarterback keeper, maybe it makes a little more sense. But honestly, now that you put it like that, but I don't know. I think you get a great talent pretty late in the 1st round.
So this is the only 1st round keeper that I have on my board currently. I haven't looked at yours, and spoiler, I'm not keeping a 1st rounder. I don't know. I think it's a strategy. We'll see if it works out. But it's a strategy to not go quarterback with your 1st round pick, even if it is a good talent. I always look at keepers as like, if I kept him in this round, am I getting at least a couple rounds worth of value out of this? Otherwise, I will just try to shoot for that player in the draft if I really want, or I can upgrade slightly based on the rankings. Where I'm looking at Superflex rankings, I have Jonathan Taylor at number 21 overall, and that's including quarterbacks and all that. So that's like early 2nd round. But if you don't want to miss out on your guy, then it's absolutely worth it, right? Like a big part of fantasy, draft your guys because you got to pull for them all year. Don't draft people that you don't want to watch. So if he's a big JT guy, he wants JT, I think it's worth the 1st round pick. It's not so far off that it gives me pause. I think he's rock solid, very low chance of totally busting this year. So first round keeper that we've seen so far.
So I would mostly agree with your assertion there about not going quarterback 1st round. But I think when you get a situation like Alex Dragon, where he's at right now, where he's a 5th round Puka Nakua keeper and a 7th round Drake May. So number one, he's got the entire draft to go out and find all these guys, but he also has an elite quarterback in the 7th round that he's going to have for the next 2 years. So if he didn't go quarterback, I would not be surprised in the 1st round. If he went for like a slam dunk, whoever it might be that's out there, any player, right? I wouldn't be surprised if he went like absolute superstar position player and then filled it in after that with the next one with the whatever kind of mid-range quarterback, because I think there's going to be something left when it gets back to them at the end of the 2nd. Not great, but is it the right strategy? I don't know. I played around with a few things myself, but I don't know. I just wouldn't be surprised if Alex Dragon didn't go quarterback. I would not be surprised. He's about the one that I have that maybe wouldn't. The only one in the first. Whatever.
One of the things with this league that I personally enjoy is that it's really hard to actually mock draft this league because you really don't know what it's going to shape out to be until you know all the keepers, and then you kind of have to go in and custom shape out what a draft would look like based on Superflex rankings and also like platform ADP for all these players. If we're looking at Alex Dragon here, I know we're skipping back up in the order, but it's a fun thought experiment. Because he has Drake May being kept in the 7th, that opens up anything in the top. Let's see, he is pick number 3. The top 3 that I have in these rankings: Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Drake May.
Right,
After that,
exactly. Right.
after that, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, Jamar Chase, Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, yeah, because you know you're getting that top tier quarterback, literally a top 3 quarterback, and you are the 3rd pick. It's all like, you can't win your league in your draft, right? But it seems like you can get yourself off to a really good start if you nail that first pick based on your keeper and your draft position.
Yeah, 100% agree. And it comes back to him with, what would that be, like the 17th pick, I think. So I mean, again, it's not like everything's going to be just completely wiped out.
And in that range, you're looking at Dak Prescott, Trevor Lawrence, Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson.
Which I'm Trevor Lawrence. I was a little bit surprised. I thought he was a keeper. That didn't happen. There was a couple of surprise quarterbacks that did not happen. That I get, everybody has their own strategies, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think Trevor Lawrence was going to be I need to find it. Like it was a 9th round keeper.
I'll have to look into that too. Who? Yeah, hold on. Let me pull this up. Do you want to try and guess my keepers while I am going to pull up Trevor Lawrence? I have him as a 9th round keeper potentially for Chase Your Dreams.
Yeah. Well, no. TD.
Yeah.
I thought it was TD. Oh no, I'm wrong.
9th round keeper for Chase Your Dreams. Bold strategy, not keeping Trevor Lawrence, who, I mean, I feel like I've seen so much, but it's also every year with Trevor Lawrence.
Every year's a different.
Every single, I've been burned by it before. I don't know if I want to buy into it.
Okay. Yeah. So I will walk you through a little bit of my thought strategy. I think Trey Benson, if I'm not mistaken, is out. He missed all of last year with a knee injury, and I think he's still on the injury reserve list.
I could keep him in the 12th, but in my rankings, he's in the like 300s.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a no go. Travis Etienne in the free agent rounds. That means you're going to keep him in the 9th. Or you would
mean
keep him in the 9th.
the artist formerly known as Travis Etienne Jr., who is now that he's in New Orleans and is pronouncing it the proper Cajun way, it is Travis Achan Jr. Not to be confused with Devon Achan.
Excuse me. Yeah, 100%. I am shocked that you didn't try to figure out a way to force Dak Prescott for what would seem to be your 8th year in a row having him.
We love Dak.
The year, I think the league's 4 or 5 years old.
Yep.
Drake London.
In the beginning, there was Toph and there was Dak Prescott.
And Dak Prescott. Not keeping Drake London in the first makes sense. So now to get to my picks for you, what I think you did. I think that you kept the Texans D in the 10th.
Do you want me to tell you pick by pick if you're right or wrong? Yeah,
no.
we'll do each one right or wrong.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna let you know now. I am keeping 4.
Okay. Yeah, I have you at 4.
I'm keeping the max.
Yeah, I got you at 4.
And one of them is the Texans defense in the 10th round.
I felt good about that. Now we're going to drop one round down, and you're going to keep Emeka Egbeku.
Emeka Egbeku.
Oh, I did not mean to say no.
Emeka Egbeku.
If I have the button for him, I got to keep him. Right?
You got to, but I kind of know that, yeah. In the 9th round.
Yeah, keeping Emeka in the 9th. So Texans defense in the 10th, Emeka in the 9th. What else you got?
And I'm going to continue that trend, and I'm going to go down one more pick, and you're going to keep Brandon Aubrey in the 8th.
How about no?
How about no? I knew that was coming. Okay, that face. Okay, all right. So we're going to scratch that one. I'll go. This I actually felt good about that one. This one was the one I'm on the fence about a little bit. You're going to keep Jamison Williams in the 4th.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Oh no,
I'm not. So that was one that I was on the fence about. So I told you earlier that I was on the fence about one, and that one was Jameson Williams. I do not have him high enough in my rankings to justify a 4th round keep. I have another wide receiver with better keeper value that I'm going to keep instead. Besides Emeka.
John Mechie.
No.
Luther Burden.
Luther Burden the
He's
third.
one that I don't know anything about. He's been popping up a lot. So then your last one is Dallas Goddard.
It is not.
What? Who is it?
No, you said them all, right?
Hunter Henry?
Achan? Achan,
Who?
Texans defense, Emeka Egbegbo, and Luther Burden. Those are your four.
I don't have HN on.
I am keeping Achan in the free agent round. I technically have 3 in the free agent round, so I'll have to send one of these up into the 7th, one into the 8th, and then one into the 9th.
HN is not on Wesley's spreadsheet.
He is.
Are we? Devon Etchen?
Travis Achan. See, you already did
Jesus,
it.
God
See, wait.
bless.
Here you go. Here you go.
It's-
Because you did it.
Congratulations, you played yourself. Emeka Egbegbu.
Hey, Beck Boo. All right. That was fun, and I got to make a fool out of myself because I did horrible there.
How neat is that? That's pretty neat.
All right, what else you got? So do you want me to try and guess some of yours?
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay. So this works out in the draft order too, because I draft right before Scott, which means I get to snipe him on some of these rounds. So I'm excited to plan my whole draft strategy based on that. I think, the one I think the most obvious one for me is Brock Bowers in the 7th.
Yep.
Brock Bowers in the 7th, I think is, I mean, how do you beat that?
Damn good deal.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Second one for me that I think you're going to keep, this is a higher value target, Jackson Smith and Jigba in the 2nd.
I did keep JSN in the 2nd.
Okay, JSN in the 2nd. And then, am I correct in thinking you are keeping 2 more players?
That's correct.
Are they both free agents? Or are both being kept in the free agent round?
No.
Ooh, then I'm wrong. Okay, my guess was going to be Tyler Shuck is a free agent round.
I cannot keep him with the. I think he was after the deadline that we set.
Oh, that was a little roster manipulation that was going on.
It was some roster, but hand up. I did the right thing here, and I did not try to sneak it through.
Wow, you're a real hero. You know that?
Yep. I want him real bad though, really bad.
Yeah, that would be sweet. Okay, so if it's not Tyler Shuck, I think you are keeping Matthew Stafford.
I am keeping Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford, and then Lad McConkey in the 9th.
No.
Oh. I really thought I had that. Biffed it. All right, if it's not Lad McConkey, is it Chase Brown in the 8th?
It is Chase Brown in the 8th.
Okay, all right, we'll take that.
I think he's looking at like a top 5 running back season.
Yeah, let me see real quick where I have Chase Brown. In a super flex, I have Chase Brown pick 30 overall, and you're able to keep him in the 8th round. So you're getting 5 full rounds of value out of that.
Yep.
And and he's currently listed as running back 6.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So kind of close.
Very nice. Hey,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
keepers. You know what? I'll cheers you. Cheers you to your keeper selections. I think we both have some good ones. My Texans defense might be a little questionable, but it's Moneyball. All right, you just got to see the vision.
I think what I saw, they're ranked the number 1 defense right now.
They are, and I'm really sad I can't keep Birmingham Stallion legend Brandon Aubrey.
Oh wow, you found a way to sneak that into the podcast. Shocking.
Every single time, I'm going to find a way. Birmingham
And
Stallion.
that leaves us lastly with Nick Gravely. With the 8th round pick, he is going to keep George Pickens, and with his 9th round pick, he is going to keep Christian Watkins.
And I think that makes perfect sense looking at the roster that he has. Keep in mind, Nick Gravely is our newest newcomer to the league. So he's got to make that roster his own. You know, he's got to command the locker room. He's got to step in there and he's got to throw some shit around and make sure his boys are paying attention. You know, sometimes he's got to clean house. And I think that's what he's doing. He's reloading to really build up the roster into what he wants it to be.
If I could give some words of encouragement to Nick, I too was in the same position, the same boat. I had to step into a roster that was horrible. Some would say the previous manager didn't know what they were doing at all. But there is light at the end of the tunnel, and it is possible. It's possible, Nick, and I don't want you to lose hope or faith, because one day I getting played off.
I was just giving you a little extra push there.
So it's possible. Is all I'm saying. You can inherit a horrible roster. You can be the new guy. You can be intimidated, maybe a little scared, but it's possible. You can. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Love to see it. Words of encouragement from our fellow league mates. Quick recap. Keepers: Alex Orbeck, Devon Achan, Kyron Williams, Rashi Rice, Cam Scadaboo, Chris Glennon, Chris Olave, Tucker Kraft. You guys correct me if I'm wrong on any of these, but these are the submissions that I have. So you have until an hour before the draft to get in any changes to these related to injury. If I'm wrong on any of these, just text me and I'll fix it. Alex Dragon, Puka Nakua, Drake May, Pat Dragon, Justin Herbert, Bo Nix, Baker Mayfield, Roma Dunze, and every other quarterback in this league. Gavin Gilmore, Brees Hall, Jared Goff, Kyle Pitts, Sam Darnold. Correct me, Gavin, if the round selection between Kyle Pitts and Sam Darnold is correct or wrong. Wesley, Quinshon Judkins, Jackson Dart, Corey Eller, Jonathan Taylor, Nico Collins, Javonte Williams, Stephon Diggs. My keepers, for everyone's knowledge, because I need to add them into ESPN now, that Scott, I was keeping Scott in the dark as he was me, so I'll add these in. Travis Achan Jr., Texans defense, Emeka Egbuka, Jesus Christ.
Emeka Egbuka.
Bekbu.
I did it. I did. Damn it. And then Scott's keepers are Chase Brown, JSN, Brock Bowers, and Matt Stafford. Nick Gravely, George Pickens, Christian Watkins. And there you go. That sums up the whole league. Thanks for joining us for our Keeper Reveal show. Scott, do you have any parting messages for the league before I send them off to go mock draft?
Glad to run it back with you boys again. It's been a good time. Let's win a draft, or let's win a bet one Sunday, and let's have a destination draft.
Yes, I've already gotten a few Venmos of like the full $15 to be in for the parlays, $1 per week. So let's hit one of these sweet little 9 or 10 leg parlays.
I think I did that right. I sent that to you. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Doesn't
Anyways,
matter.
yeah. Let's have some fun. Let's have a great year. Let's keep it clean. All right. Let's keep it clean, boys.
Let's all be respectful, but also mountains of trash talk in the group text.
Lots of trash talk.
There will be plenty. All right, and with that, happy mock drafting, everyone. I will see all of you at 6 p.m. Mountain Time next Wednesday. So, bye.